You might be walking around with rare genetic superpowers like that make you totally weird. Mutation 1. There are people out there who've been hit by cars, fallen off roofs, or taken brutal sports injuries, and walked away with barely a scratch. It sounds like comic book nonsense, but it's real. The secret? A rare mutation in the LRP5 gene. This gene regulates bone density, but in some people it goes absolutely rogue, causing bones to become incredibly dense, up to 8 times stronger than normal. Doctors discovered this when treating patients who, quite literally, couldn't break their bones. Medical staff were baffled. X-rays looked blurry because the bones were too thick. Even bone saws had trouble cutting through. Sounds great, right? Not entirely. These people are walking tanks, sure, but having bones this dense can also come with issues, like nerve compression and a skeleton that's too heavy for your muscles. Still, if you've ever tripped over a curb and the ground took more damage than you might be one of them. Mutation 2. Imagine seeing colors no one else can. Not in a poetic, artsy way, but literally. Most people have 3 types of cone cells in their eyes, red, green, and blue receptors, but if you're a tetrachromat, you have a 4th. That extra cone allows you to see up to 100 million different shades of color. It's like having Photoshop's full color wheel inside your eyeballs. While most people see beige, you see dusty rose mixed with a hint of moss and a whisper of regret. Sunsets look like cosmic explosions, and art galleries are a full-body experience. Scientists believe only about 1% of people, mostly women, have this mutation, linked to variations in the OPN1MW gene. Many don't even know they have it. They just think everyone else is bad at describing colors. The downside? You'll never agree on paint colors with anyone, ever. Mutation 3. Some people don't need 8 hours of sleep. They need 4. And they wake up with more energy than a toddler on espresso. This is thanks to a mutation in the DEC2 gene, found in a tiny percentage of people, less than 1%. While most of us hit snooze 12 times and stagger through the day like tired zombies, these outliers crush workouts, reply to emails, and bake banana bread before sunrise. But they're not just pulling all-nighters, their bodies genuinely function better on less sleep. They enter deep sleep faster, stay in it longer, and wake up more alert. Basically, they do in 4 hours what most people's brains do in 8. And no, it's not caffeine. It's pure genetic efficiency. Scientists literally call them the sleepless elite. The rest of us, we call them annoying. Mutation 4. To you, food isn't just food. It's a full-blown chemical interrogation. If bitter vegetables taste like poison, black coffee feels like betrayal, and cilantro makes you want to scream into the void. Congratulations, you might be a super taster. This trait comes from a variation in the TS2R38 gene, which cranks up the number of taste buds on your tongue and makes your brain panic at certain flavors. About 25% of people have it, but to a super taster, kale is violence, grapefruit is punishment, and Brussels sprouts are a war crime. It's not picky eating, it's molecular-level suffering. Restaurants become obstacle courses. Tasting menus are a gamble. Your friends think you're being dramatic, but you're just experiencing a flavor explosion in high definition. You're not being annoying. You're being biochemically betrayed by broccoli. Mutation 5. Imagine waking up with 2 rows of eyelashes and thinking, wow, I was born ready for a mascara sponsorship. But spoiler alert, this isn't fashion. It's genetics with a sense of humor. This rare condition is called distichiasis, and it happens when your body says, you know what those eyelids need? More drama. So instead of just 1 neat row of lashes like a normal human, you've got a bonus set, sprouting from where no lashes were ever invited. The openings of the meibomian glands, tiny oil-secreting glands in your eyelids. And while it might sound glamorous at first, like Mother Nature made you fabulous by default, the truth is, this second row of lashes can turn into a daily battle with your own eyeballs. We're talking constant irritation, dry eyes, redness, and the sensation that a porcupine has taken up residence in your cornea. In severe cases, these extra lashes grow inward, scratching the eye's surface and causing blurred vision, infections, or even corneal ulcers. Sounds fun, right? Distichiasis is usually caused by a mutation in the FOXC2 gene, which plays a role in tissue development. When this gene decides to go rogue, your eyelids get double stacked with lashes like they're preparing for a red carpet photo shoot, only without your consent. It's so rare that most people, including some doctors, confuse it with trichiasis, a different condition where normal lashes grow the wrong way. But distichiasis isn't just misplaced lashes, it's bonus lashes. Think of it as genetic lash inflation. Celebrities like Elizabeth Taylor were rumored to have this condition, which partly explains those iconic eyes. But let's be real, when you're blinking twice as much as everyone else, not for flirting but to stop stabbing your own retina, it kind of kills the glamour. You're not just born with lashes, you're born with reinforcements. Twice the blink, twice the effort, half the peace. Mutation 6. You're not just smelling things. You're conducting a chemical investigation every time someone walks into the room. While most people catch a whiff of something floral, you detect what brand of detergent they used, what they ate for breakfast, and the emotional damage they're trying to hide. Welcome to hyperosmia, a rare condition where your nose isn't just a nose. It's a biological bloodhound with a grudge. Your olfactory receptors are turned up to 11, and every scent is delivered to your brain in full surround sound with bonus commentary. This isn't just heightened smell. This is olfactory ultra instinct. You walk into a kitchen and know instantly that someone overcooked chicken 3 hours ago. You pass a coworker and smell stress, regret, and last night's garlic bread. You sit on a public bench and instantly question your entire life. Hyperosmia can be genetically inherited, though it's also seen in certain conditions like migraines, pregnancy, or as a symptom of neurological disorders. But when it's purely genetic, congratulations. Your ancestors passed you a superpower that feels like a curse in modern society. Perfume stores are your war zone. Crowded elevators, torture chambers, public restrooms, apocalypse. Even food can be a problem. You can detect spoiled milk just by opening the fridge door from another room. And no, you're not being picky. Your nose just came pre-installed with a toxic gas leak warning system. This rare mutation is often linked to variations in olfactory receptor genes, like OR11H7, which are part of a giant gene family with more than 400 variants. Most people only actively use a small percentage of these. You got the premium sniff package. In ancient times, this mutation could have saved your life. Spotting rotten food, detecting predators, or knowing your neighbor was lying about bathing. Today, it just means you know who hasn't washed their jeans in 2 weeks, and you wish you didn't. Hyperosmia is your cross to bear. And sniff. You're not crazy, you're just cursed with accuracy. While the world smells like clean linen to others, you smell chemical warfare, existential dread, and 3 different kinds of mold. Mutation 7. You know how most people stub their toe and suddenly question their will to live? Not you. You've walked on Legos, bitten your tongue, and dislocated your shoulder. And your reaction was just, weird. If this sounds familiar, you might have a rare mutation in the SCN9A gene, which controls pain signals in your body. And in your case, it kind of ignores them. You're not just tough, you're neurologically immune to agony. This mutation affects a sodium channel in your nervous system. Normally, when something hurts, let's say you grab a hot pan, pain signals get sent through your nerves, using these sodium channels to scream, "Pain, let go," to your brain. But for people with a faulty SCN9A gene, that alarm is never triggered. The signal just never reaches the brain. To put it simply, your body gets hurt, but your brain gets nothing. It's like a fire alarm system with the volume turned off. There are real documented cases of this. Some kids with this mutation have broken bones, burned themselves, or had serious injuries without shedding a single tear. Not because they're brave, but because they literally don't feel pain. One girl even chewed through part of her tongue without noticing, because she was teething. No joke. On paper, it sounds awesome. No more headaches, no back pain. You're a walking Advil. But here's the dark side. Pain exists for a reason. It's a biological warning system. Without it, you don't know when something's wrong, and that can be dangerous, even life-threatening. People with this mutation have to be extremely careful. Burns, infections, internal injuries, they can all go unnoticed. So while you might feel like a superhero, you still need to check your body like a detective. Oh, and doctors? They hate this mutation, because when you say, "I feel fine," but your leg is literally broken, that's not helpful. SCN9A might give you a pain-free life, but it comes with the responsibility of being your own personal medic. Mutation 8. While everyone around you turns into a coughing, sneezing disaster the second flu season arrives, you're just fine. No fevers, no sore throats, no mountain of tissues. It's like viruses show up. Take one look at your immune system and go, nope, next person. What's your secret? It might be your HLA genes, but specifically an ultra-rare version that basically turns your immune system into a fortress with laser turrets. The HLA system, short for human leukocyte antigen, is like your body's internal ID scanner. Every time a virus, bacteria, or even a cell starts acting sketchy, HLA proteins help your immune system decide whether to go full John Wick or leave it alone. Some people inherit super efficient HLA variants that recognize and destroy pathogens much faster than the average immune system. Studies have found that people with these genetic superpowers are less likely to get HIV, more resistant to malaria, and bounce back from infections at record speed. We're talking about white blood cells on Red Bull. Your immune system doesn't just defend, it launches preemptive strikes. You don't get under the weather gets scared of you, and that's not all. Some researchers believe these people also recover faster from vaccines, rarely get long-term side effects from illnesses, and have an overall lower risk of autoimmune diseases. You're the kind of person who catches something and says, "That was weird," while everyone else is in bed for 2 weeks crying into soup. But here's the twist. Even super immunity isn't bulletproof. There are rare cases where people with strong HLA genes also react badly to certain drugs or develop weird sensitivities. It's the classic high-risk, high-reward setup, like having an attack dog that sometimes chases the mailman too. Still, if you're the one friend who never catches the bug that's going around, and you don't even try, your immune system might just be running a private elite boot camp without you knowing. Mutation 9. Some people eat street tacos in the middle of a tropical summer and spend 3 days regretting every decision they've ever made. You could lick a subway pole and still be fine. Your stomach isn't just strong, it's built different, and science might back that up. If you've ever wondered why some people get food poisoning just by looking at undercooked meat, while others practically survive on gas station sushi, the answer could be found in genetic mutations in the FUT2 gene. This gene affects whether or not you're a secretor, a person who releases blood-type antigens into bodily fluids. Sounds gross. It kind of is. But more importantly, being a non-secretor, thanks to a FUT2 mutation, seems to make your gut more resistant to certain viruses and bacteria, especially norovirus, one of the main culprits behind foodborne illness outbreaks. Translation, you've got gastrointestinal plot armor. Your gut bacteria are like a team of elite bouncers at an underground club. Nothing shady gets in without getting wrecked. In addition, people with this mutation tend to process fiber and carbohydrates differently, sometimes even extracting more nutrients from tough foods than the average person. Basically, your digestive system runs on nightmare fuel and calls it brunch. Some researchers even believe this mutation is an evolutionary remnant from when humans had to eat questionable things just to survive, like raw meat or unwashed roots, or whatever was still slightly less rotten than the guy next to you found. And while modern hygiene standards mean you'll hopefully never need to digest week-old mammoth, your iron stomach genes are still doing the heavy lifting, silently protecting you every time you risk that suspicious buffet. So next time your friends are doubled over from that totally safe shrimp cocktail, and you're just sitting there, unfazed and still hungry, thank your DNA, because when it comes to food risks, your stomach doesn't flinch, it flexes. So if you've ever felt like your body came with a few extra features, now you know. It kinda did. From double lashes to bones that laugh at gravity, these rare DNA mutations aren't just quirks. They're biological plot twists that make you, well, weirdly impressive. Your genes have been quietly doing wild things behind the scenes your whole life. You're basically walking around with a cheat code and didn't even know it. Now here's the real question. Which one of these mutations do you think you might have? Or which one do you wish you had? Let me know down in the comments. I'm curious and mildly concerned.